This is exactly what you want to see as a guitarist. I'm going back a bit. This is just fire. Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another reaction. If you are new yet, don't forget to punch that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Then you'll be alerted as soon as these go live on the platform. Now, we are finally back with another Babymetal reaction to the highly requested Rondo of Nightmare with Mischiefs of God Intro. It's a serious title, so I'm expecting a serious performance. Now, I'm glad that it's a live one because I love looking at the live stuff. I've kind of got the feel of who they are and what they're about, and I'm super keen to get into this. So Rondo of Nightmare, let's see what you got. It's a cool setup. Reminds me of like a small version of Metallica's Cunning Stunts, that round kind of. Okay. So I'm assuming these guys are the Mischiefs of God, or are they like, is that this intro? Super glad to see that there's like a bit of a musical showcase happening, because you can hear, and I've commented on it in the previous reactions, if you missed any of those, links are in the description below. These guys are some serious musos, so like very, very happy that they're getting an opportunity to showcase without it being as part of a song. And it'd be also interesting to know, is this intro part of the song on the recorded version, or is this just something they added for live? Excited. That drummer's footwork. So those that's such a classic way of showcasing really nice lead pieces. You've got that quick footwork, like dun dun dun, along with the guitar and the bassist backing it, and then you've got a gap open for the lead piece to be the hero. And he's essentially, when you're a guitarist, all these lead quick pieces that you hear, they're all based off scales, right? So when you start out to get your fingers used to going quicker, you put a metronome on and you play scales. Dun, 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 dun. Now, a lot of there are hundreds and hundreds, probably more, of different scales, and these are all kind of variations of that. And then he ends off with a nice like pinch harmonic, and some people call it a squeal. His technique is really good, and there's not one missed note there. So this is exactly what you want to see as a guitarist. I'm going back a bit. This is just fire. I used to struggle with those, still do. Is that sweeping? He's sweeping there. I love how they all face in a different way. It's just such a performance. These guys are crazy. I like the way that when he started his kind of little solo piece, he had a very different approach. It wasn't just the kind of quickness from the beginning, and you know, the first guitarist had just kind of speed and intensity from the beginning, but he did a lot of small intricacies and technical things like with the squeals and stuff. He started out much more with that kind of almost classic rock solo vibe, where it was much more like dragged out. It almost felt like it was sitting off the beat, and he kind of, it sounds like that guitar's crying almost. He's making it like really push those strings up when he does his bends, and then he went into some of the more technical fast bits. So just nice to see. This is how you see a guitarist style shine through. So this is like their personality. It's essentially their personality in solos, and it's very, very cool. I'm very much on board. Of course. Tap in there, really good, really good. Something that really impresses me with bassists is, and this isn't a criticism of bassists who use picks and plectrums, but when you get bassists like this, he's got the bass guitar really nice and high, which means he wants a lot of control over what he's doing. He's trying to get high up the neck, and that's a lot harder to do if the guitar is sitting really low, like with particularly in a lot of punk genres and stuff like that, or punk bands. And he's using his fingers, right? So he's got essentially 4 attempts at playing those strings. And when I mentioned sweeping earlier, that's something that guitarists do when they go down, and it creates this rhythmic pattern for them to play lead pieces and get more speed out of it. It also gives like a different tonal value. He's basically just, obviously he's not sweeping, but he's kind of going up with it. And that provides him with the ability to overcome the not having a pick to be able to pick up and down. So he gets the speed out of doing that. And he was remarkably quick there. And bass strings are much thicker and much more difficult to get those notes to sound ultra clear. So that was super impressive. Yep. Has he got sheet music up for this? I love that he didn't just keep with the double bass consistency. He like pulled off a bit and switched up with the fills and stuff. Just, they're all very, very special musicians. Wow, that's power. That's absolute power way to start. It's a cool time signature there. Something that was awesome there is I sometimes struggle when the time signature changes. I struggle to find the loop. So when I talk about the loop, I mean the beginning and the end, so I can find the repeatable pattern, because then I can figure out what's going on and how long that's taking. And I struggle with that sometimes. It's one of the things I constantly trying to listen to different kinds of music so I can get better at that, particularly progressive metal and stuff like that. It's not my favorite genre, however, it does help with that kind of thing, because they are kind of the scientists of metal, if you will. When she started singing, she solidified that really easy for me. So that was really nice to see her vocals playing a major role in that. Going back again just to hear her come in, but super cool. The way they're dedicating to that time signature, and it's not just the music and she's singing a completely independent melody. Very cool. Where are the other girls? Yeah, there's some synth going on there. Or recording. Got some power. I love that as well. I mean, that was a power chorus. Like that, probably in terms of what I've heard from them, is, I would say, is probably the most difficult vocal challenge I've seen her take on, and she smashed out the park. Interesting to see where the other girls are. I'm not sure, are they in the song, or is this something that she just tackles alone? Another cool thing is just, it's very simple, and I'll go back just to hear it, but at the end there, where she just let the last note ring out and they went back into that Stranger Time signature, ordinarily that would be quite a hard shift, and it's not a right or wrong thing, but I like that she almost let that, not standard, but the melody of the chorus drag out over that, so that it seemed a bit more joined up. It's very cool. There's definitely like a recording or some piano kind of stuff, a synth going on in the background of that. There you go. I really like the song. This is epic, the way that they just at the bottom there. Are they turning, or is the camera? Yeah, she's good. She's good. That's just such a nice element, because ordinarily you see lead guitarists, when you've got guys like this who are so fantastic, it's very easy to say, okay, well, you dominate that, you do the filler, one of you do the rhythm piece, one of you do the lead piece. But sometimes I think it's really nice for them both to provide what I call like a power structure, so they're both doing much more rhythmic chord based work versus lead work, and then you've got that effect in the back. It basically comes down to what's best for the song and what versus its show off an ability. Really nice. There's an effect on there, really cool. It's like a radio effect, right? So I'll go back again, but it's basically when you pull out a lot of the frequencies and you filter it, that it sounds like it's, again, I always use the reference, like it sounds like it's going through a tube like that, and that's pretty much what they do with it. But then they sometimes push the higher end up and they add a bit of static. I quite like that. That's cool. This is beautiful. Now, quick question. I know there's a couple pauses there, but was that a recording, or was that her singing that piece? I'm not saying it was either one way or the other. It just sounded like it was almost too perfect, and then when her vocals kicked in, there was a distinct difference. So, what do you think, that was a recording, or was she actually just able to produce that, and they've just got really well timed effects on it? It's very possible they did. I do appreciate how they do just about everything live. It's they're very good. Yeah, very, very good. Really like that. I think interested to see. I didn't know that was just going to be her tackling that one without the other two girls. I guess it just comes down to the song, right? So what's needed for the song again? And I think that might be even a greater nod to their maturity in approaching that. Also adds a different dynamic, and a kind of, when you go into a live show like that, it's almost a production. It goes beyond being a live band. It's more of a production. It reminds me of bands like Kiss and stuff, where you've got hydraulics and you've got fireworks and you've got stuff like this. Geez, they are special. I've been kind of wanting to find a way back in to look at some of their stuff. And I know there's not a lot of things that are being kept up as live, so I'm really glad that I was able to see that. Really happy. Fantastic musicianship. So glad the guys got a chance to showcase and do that. And here I know it says with Mischiefs of God Intro, so I'm assuming there is a version without. I'd put that on the album. Basically forms an interlude. You can make it like skippable, but that was remarkable. Really impressed by what they did there. Really impressed by the singing as well. Like, I think when you're doing something so technical and you're having that kind of showcase, you don't want to be let down by something that should be considered a kind of an essential. And I think she smashed out the park with her singing. I think the musicians allowed the melody to be the hero when it needed to, and then they also had their moment to shine. So that was super special. Love that one. Any more recommendations from them, please put a link in the comments, and also let me know if there's anything I missed, if there's anything I got wrong. I'd love to have conversations about that, and I love talking to you guys about those kind of things. So thank you very much for spending time with me again. Until the next one, be safe, be extra nice to each other, and have a good day.